Everybody, this is Grace. In this video, I want to talk about people who are money motivated, but also people who are not. Okay, how many of us have ever known someone who truly is not motivated by money? Money is just enough for them to survive. They don't need every penny they can get. They don't squeeze, what is it? What's that expression? Pinch a penny till it bleeds, or something like that. Yeah. I am one of those. I am not at all money motivated with anything, in any way. Seriously, I've never been this type. And it's just not my thing, if I have enough money to survive, that's fine. Some people say, well, then you must lack, of course it's going to be that you must lack something. You lack drive, you lack, aspirations, no, I don't. I do not. And because you're money motivated doesn't give you some kind of right to judge me and to state that I'm wrong when could be I'm saying you wrong. Well, it's more than could be. Now, this is something I have seen. Of course, it's not across the board. Of course, it's not everybody. Yeah. But I have seen people who are more money motivated. They think that in terms of everything is about that drive to get more. And of course, it's not just money. It's not just dollars in their hands or whatever it is where you live. It's the power, the control, for some, it's a mixture. Power and control, or their ability to buy more, ability to have more fun, go out and do more things, take trips, whatever it is that they need and that they want to do, is the money that they have, they feel. Okay. Some people, how do they develop this? Some people were raised this way, and they can't see anything opposite. Like I said, they might try to define a person like me who's doesn't see any reason to be all like that, and doesn't see any reason to be greedy, because some of these are greedy people, very greedy. They have a difficult time because it's not something that they really have seen, and as they grow older, they mix themselves with more and more people like this. Don't we all know how that is? Okay, seriously. When you're raised, say, in a dysfunctional family, some call them narcissistic family, what kind of people do, it's not your fault about people being narcissistic, but what kind of people do you find yourself around more and more until you really get a hold of it, a handle on it? Yeah, this is not all that unusual. People were raised in this kind of, like I said, this kind of thought that money is about everything. All your thoughts should be on money and how you can achieve more money, and so you can achieve more this and that and the other. Now, some people weren't, but they develop the mentality because they get around somebody like this. They attend high school with somebody, and they befriend them for whatever reason, or they're befriended by them, and that person is very manipulative and teaches them the way and says this is how life should be. Yeah. Somebody could become more money motivated, and as they get older, they might start to forget or to overlook, forget the, basically logic, or say something happens that they have more money, or they have more popularity, which brings about more money. And it's like they become a little bit addicted to it, or maybe a lot addicted to it. So they totally forget this other side of that. Not everything is about money. And these days, I think people say, you're just kind of like that, like as if you're a romantic. You're romanticizing that not everything is about money. They think that of you as naive, okay, when you might see them as naive, to think that they're going to just go through all your life just earning money, trying to make money. You, the one who is not money motivated, see them as silly, see them as, greedy, not having a decent life even, because all it is, they might think it is, but it's all about money, and that's all their mind is on. An addiction to money and what it could give you. This can cause so many people so many problems, especially like I was saying, if they get some kind of notoriety for whatever reason, They, can just totally forget their own, they lose their soul. They lose their religion. That's an expression, but it could be literal. They just lose themselves into this. And they, like I said, they overlook, they can't see it clearly anymore. That, no, this is not who I want to be in my life, is to be somebody who does what some of these people do. They become very manipulative. They take things from other people. They have a sense of entitlement, and that sense of entitlement, it actually takes from another person. That they don't see it as wrong anymore, because all they see that is right is that almighty dollar. It's all about the Benjamins to them. And I've seen this happen, of people who were decent at one point but became, I don't want to say indecent, but they became to where they sold their soul. That kind of, that's another expression. Sold their soul because of that money. The fame, fortune, power, control, whatever it is attached to it, if at all. Well, it's going to have something attached to it. But yeah, the money, So I think it's pretty sad. What about you? How do you see it? Now, like I said, I'm not money motivated at all. If I can survive, that's fine. And it's not like I was raised with a silver spoon in my mouth, because I wasn't. I have had a hard life, of course. And money wasn't growing on trees for me. I was from a middle class family, but it sometimes wasn't. And it was hard. I had to do hard work to get to where I am today. The life chances of me doing so were like slim to none, really. But I had a lot of drive. I had a lot of aspiration. But it wasn't money motivated. It was to better my life to where I could survive. Yeah. Have you ever been in survival mode when you are only thinking about survival? That's a topic for another video. Yeah, survival mode. Been there, done that more than once. I was a starving student too. That's something I should talk about with Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Anyway, I'm going to wrap this one up because I think it's getting long. Might not be. But what are your views on money? How do you see it? Do you think that's all that you should be thinking about? Now, let's say one thing. That could be extremes here. I'm not money motivated. Some people are only money motivated. There are levels in between. And that's something I need to work on, is to not be totally not money motivated. See, that's black or white. There's shades of gray. Now I'm wrapping it up. If you want to subscribe to this channel, you can click the circle icon. If you want to watch another video on this channel, click on the rectangles. Like, subscribe, comment, and share it on your own social media, and I'll talk to you on another video. Bye.